Hi everyone, welcome back. So we are going to jump right in and get started with finishing up our pointillism project, okay? We have not had class for about a month, so if you need a refresher on what the heck pointillism is, if you ate so much turkey that you're just having a brain moment and don't remember what pointillism is, I will gladly show you how you can get back and review the PowerPoint or the slideshow presentation from our last art class, which was like a month ago. Oh my goodness. All right, hold on. Let me share my screen. I got cords everywhere, lights. This whole setup is wacky, but we're gonna make it work and it's gonna be awesome. All right, so bear with me here. Share my screen. Oh, you're not 810. Let me go to 4-5. All right, cool. We are here and we are making it work. So we are on the Art with Miss Abby tab. All right, we'll go back to last class to the Pointillism PowerPoint presentation. All right, so our Pointillism landscapes. Okay, our project last week, or not last week, the last time we had class was to create a pencil sketch of a landscape. Okay, we learned about what a landscape is and what pointillism is, okay? Pointillism's the really teeny tiny colorful dots that are so small and so close together that it fools the eye into thinking that it is one cohesive painting, but they're really just made up of little teeny tiny dots, okay? So this is a very close-up image of this famous painting by a famous pointillism artist named George Seurat. Okay, and this square that I showed you is this little teeny tiny part right here, which I think is so cool. And if you watched all of these videos, you learned that this famous artwork is massive. It's about the size of a minivan. So just imagine how many dots it took to create this whole entire painting. Mind blown. But refresher and pointillism. Okay, so I am going to stop sharing my screen this way, and I am going to share my other screen. 1 second. Uh-oh. It is connected. Hold on a second. I have to stop the video and technical difficulties. Welcome to 2020. Be right back. All right, take 2. Action. Let's try this. I now have a lantern here and the light's dim, so let's see if this works a little better. Are you kidding me? Okay, let's try this again. Hopefully you can see my document camera. Awesome. All right, so last time we worked on making a landscape, okay? And your task was to use a pencil and draw a sketch of a landscape. So if you didn't do that last week or you misplaced your landscape sketch in this month that we had off, go ahead and grab a sheet of watercolor paper. It's a little bit thicker stuff if you don't have watercolor paper. Just regular computer paper will work. However, when you do apply paint, it might get a little crinkly, but that's okay. As long as you take a picture of it before the paint dries, you're good to go. All right, so when we were doing our landscape, we were focusing on perspective, okay? So including a background, a middle ground, and a foreground, okay? So in my landscape, I'm going to have this nice big dead tree, no leaves because it's fall, right? And I'm just gently, loosely sketching. I'm not making it the most beautiful tree in the whole wide world. Just loosely sketching, okay? And I drew that really big because that is the foreground. That is the part of the landscape that is closest to me, okay? So in my middle ground, I'm gonna have some, you know, rolling hills in the background, right? Maybe I'll include like a little barn house, right? And there's not that much detail in my house because it is far away. Maybe there's a chimney with some smoke, right? And my background is the furthest point away from me. So that would be, maybe I'll have a sun, right? And a couple of like little birds that I'll draw in a little nicer when we get to the paint part, right? So my foreground is my tree, my middle ground is my hill and this house, and my background all the way in the back is the sun, the sky, and the birds, all right? So once we have our landscape sketch done, we are going to move on to the next part, which is paint. So in your art kit, you should have a tray that looks like this, and the primary colors, yellow, red, and blue, and black and white. So what's important and what makes pointillism is the different tints and shades and how close they are and how they overlap and they layer to create the illusion that there is different values and the colors move together and it looks like one cohesive artwork, even though it's made up of little teeny tiny dots. Okay, so what I would like to start with is explaining tints and shades. Now, some of you guys who have been with me for a while, I know we covered this. We definitely covered it last year and probably years before that, right? So a tint means you add white to the color, okay? You make it lighter, you make a tint by adding white. To make a shade, I'm sure you guessed it, you add the opposite, which is black, okay? Make it darker. So we are going to experiment with different tints and shades to create the colors for our dots. Now, friends, if you notice, this paint palette is very small and I just have really teeny tiny amounts of paint. When we are mixing our tints and shades and just mixing any colors in general, we are only using really small amounts of paint, okay? We do not need a lot. And we want a variety of tints and shapes. So if you run out of the color that you mix and you need to mix it again and it's not exactly the same, that's what we want. We want a variety of tints and shapes. Now also in your art kit, you should have an assortment of Q-tips, okay? That is what we are going to be using to apply the paint and give it that pointillism effect, the dot, okay? So I want you to experiment with color mixing and mixing tints and shades and using the pointillism effect, okay? So I want to start by, I'm going to mix a brown color for my tree. Now, I don't have brown. How in the world do you mix brown? Well, the recipe is a little bit of red. And the best thing about Q-tips is they have two sides. So when you're going in your colors to mix, don't drag your red through your red through your yellow. Okay, you want to keep your primary colors full. All right, and I can go in, grab another Q-tip, and just the littlest dab of black. Okay, and I'm going to mix these together and see what I get. Kind of have, I don't know if you can see it that well. Whoa, where am I going here? Right? Red, yellow, and a smidge of black gets me a nice kind of rich brown color. Now, if I want some more of that, I can obviously add some more colors to it, right? Mix it up and get that nice color that I want. Now, if I want a tint or a shade of brown, I am going to add either black or white to my color. And I'm going to keep this as it is right now. And when I apply, I am just going to make little teeny dots. And friends, you notice you can use your Q-tip way more than once until there's no more paint coming off. Then I'll swirl it around again and I'll keep going. Now, pointillism is successful when things overlap. So if you notice, I'm kind of going a horizontal back and forth motion to drag the pigment of the color that I just previously put down, right? And with doing that, I am creating value. So if you look, maybe I can zoom. Can I zoom? Oh, yes, I can zoom, right? So you can see that I am achieving value by this darker color on the side, and I'm just using up the extra paint that's already on the end of my Q-tip, and I'm pulling it towards the center to give it a lighter color in the middle, right? Because value and form, things are darker on the sides where it's further away from you, and the center of the tree trunk is going to be the thing that's closest to you, so it's naturally going to be lighter, okay? So this is what I would like for you to experiment with when you're doing your pointillism, okay? And notice I am continuing with the repetitive dot motion, okay? I am not taking my Q-tip and using the Q-tip as a paintbrush, okay? You don't see, let's mix up another color here. I'm gonna make a green, so some yellow and some blue. Give me a nice green. Oh, I want a little bit of a tint of green, so I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit here. Oh, sorry, you can't see that. Lighten it up a little bit here with some yellow or some white. So I get a tint going here, right? You are not using your Q-tip as a paintbrush. We are not doing that. No, big red X on that. No, that is not what we're doing. Okay, we want to do pointillism. So it's going to take a little bit, but little dots, okay? And your project will be more dynamic, right? Here, so I can show you what I'm doing. With different tints and shades. So mix them up. Use all areas of your palette, right? I believe you should have 2. So use the spaces in between, use this space here, the sides, use it all up because it'll just wash off with water. And overlap your colors, okay? See, they'll kind of blend together. But with different dots, you can achieve layers of color. And the dots will slowly blend together so you have a cohesive painting when you're done that's made up of dots and you would never be able to guess it. All right, so that is what I would like for you to do. And you want to, let me zoom. Yep. So you're going to work to fill your whole landscape with pointillism dots. All right, it is going to take you a little bit, but I promise your patience will pay off because you're going to have a very awesome outcome when you are finished. All right, and remember, one, we are not using our Q-tip like a paintbrush. We are doing dots with it, okay? And 2, I need a photograph of your work when you are finished, okay? If you are really getting into it and you don't finish today, still take a picture of your project and email it to me. And if you want to work on it a little bit next week sometime to finish it up and put your finishing touches on it, that is perfectly okay too. Okay, I just need some kind of picture to show that you participated in class today and you are working on your pointillism landscape with your paint. Okay, again, if you have questions, please email me. I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Type in the Google Classroom under the assignment if you have specific questions. And I look forward to seeing your project, okay? After this project is done, I have a really fun holiday art contest to do. So you guys will be getting those materials in materials pickup today, all right? Thank you guys. I hope this was okay for you guys. I would love some feedback about the videos and just doing art class this way so I can improve and tweak some things for next time, okay? All right, I can't wait to see your work. Bye, guys.